Solve the following equation using the quadratic formula. Here we have parentheses 9x minus 1 times 2x plus 1, which is equal to 6x. So, if you take a look at the question, okay, we need to make sure this is in standard form before we can actually solve. Remember that standard form is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, and that's equal to 0. And currently it's not. So, let's take a look at this. We have parentheses 9x minus 1 times 2x plus 1, and that's equal to 6x. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to figure out how to then rewrite and multiply 9x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. Remember, you can either FOIL that. I'm just going to show the box method. So if I have 9x and I have minus 1, that means I'm going to have two columns. Okay, and then I'm multiplying it by 2x plus 1, which means I'm going to have two rows. And so 2x times 9x is 18x squared. 2x times minus 1 is minus 2x. 1 times 9x is 9x. And 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So we end up with 18x squared. And then we're going to combine these two terms because 9 minus 2x is plus 7x. And that's minus 1. So now we're going to rewrite this as 18x squared plus 7x minus 1, and that's equal to 6x. Now that we have done that, we still need to set it equal to 0. So it's still not in standard form, which means we need to subtract the 6x to a like term on the left side of the equation. So we're going to subtract 6x to the 7x. Okay, and so what do we end up with? So for part 3, we end up with 18x squared. 7x minus 6x is just 1x minus 1, and that's equal to 0. Now that we set everything equal to 0, now we can determine what is A, which is 18, what is B, which is 1, and C, which is negative 1. So now we're going to use the quadratic formula. Remember, the quadratic formula is equal to is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and then divide that by 2a. So negative times b, which is 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 1 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 18, and times c, which is negative 1, all over 2 times a, which is 18. So let's go ahead and simplify this a little further. We have negative 1 plus or minus 1 squared is 1. We have a negative 4 times 18 times negative 1, which is plus, right? And so we have 4 times 18, which is 72, over 2 times 18, which is 36. So that's going to equal negative 1 plus or minus 1 plus 72, which is the square root of 73, over 36. And we cannot simplify it any further, so let's go ahead and check our answer. So we're going to put in our fraction. We have negative 1, and that's plus or minus the square root of 73 divided by 36. Let's check our 36. Check our answer, and there is our result.